Hello, time travelers and enthusiasts of a bygone era. Prepare to journey back to a time of gallant knights, majestic castles, and a social structure unlike any other. In this captivating exploration, we'll step into the heart of medieval times, a period characterized by the intricate interplay of feudalism, chivalry, and the grandeur of castles that stood as symbols of power and fortitude. Join us as we traverse the medieval landscape, delving into the world of noble lords, courageous knights, and the awe-inspiring architecture that defined an era. From tales of courtly love to the art of siege warfare, this is a journey that will transport you to a realm where honor, loyalty, and the clash of swords reign supreme. The Middle Ages was a period in European history that lasted from about 500 until the Renaissance began in the 15th century. It was a time when feudalism and knighthood were at their peak. Castles dotted the landscape, and warfare was conducted according to strict codes of chivalry. The Middle Ages also saw great advances in culture, society, and technology. Medieval times, feudalism, knights, and castle. In the Middle Ages, life was governed by a feudalistic system. This was a system of government, economy, and society that existed in Europe from about 800 and 1400 CE. It involved a hierarchical arrangement between lords and vassals, where each person owed allegiance to another above him or herself in exchange for protection and a share of the harvest, also known as land. Feudalism began when Charlemagne Charles became king of the Franks in 768 CE. He then expanded his kingdom through conquest until it encompassed much of Western Europe. When he died in 814 CE at age 72 after ruling for 45 years, he divided his kingdom among three sons. Louis I became king of France. Louis I became king of France. Louis I ruled over Italy. Pepin I got Aquitaine, which included southwest France today known as Gascony plus parts of Spain called Catalonia. Received Burgundy, which included eastern France today called Alsace-Lorraine, plus parts of Switzerland called Fribourg, Zurich, Bern, Lausanne, Geneva, Basel, Lucerne, Geneva, Basel, Lucerne, Solothurn, Zug, Zurich. The decline of feudalism. Feudalism was a system of government in which the nobility granted land to knights in exchange for their service. The knights would be required to protect the land and serve their lords. This feudal system began during the Dark Ages, but it declined after the Black Death hit Europe in 1348, 49 and killed about 30% of its population. The decline began when people no longer wanted to live on isolated farms with only one another as companionship. Instead, they moved into cities where there were more opportunities for work and entertainment than on isolated farms. Knightly orders. Knights were the elite warriors of the medieval era. They were expected to be brave, loyal, and chivalrous. Knights also had to be well educated. Many knights could read and write, and some even learned Latin, so they could read religious texts in their own language. Knightly orders have a rich history intertwined with chivalry and honor. These organizations emerged during the Middle Ages in Europe, serving as noble defenders of justice, protecting the weak, and upholding their code of conduct. Knights underwent rigorous training, mastering combat skills and etiquette. Famous orders like the Knights Templar and the Knights Hospitaller played pivotal roles in the Crusades. Each order had distinct symbols, attire, and ceremonies. Chivalry, emphasizing virtues like courage and humility, formed the core of their ethos. Knightly orders left an indelible mark on history, inspiring literature and shaping modern concepts of heroism. Despite evolving over time, their legacy endures, reminding us of the enduring ideals of honor and duty. Castle architecture. The architecture of a castle evolved over time, as did its purpose. Initially, castles were built to protect against invaders and defend the local lord's territory. Later, they provided a place of refuge for the lord and his family in times of war or political unrest. The earliest castles were simple earthworks with wooden walls. Later structures incorporated stone walls and towers. Castle architecture developed throughout history, incorporating features like drawbridges, battlements, and moats for defense. They ranged from imposing stone fortresses to elegant palaces serving as seats of power, protection, and residence. Styles varied by region and era, leaving an enduring legacy of architectural innovation and historical significance. Castle architecture varied depending on location and era, but generally followed one of three basic plans: Motta and Bailey, the most common, concentric or shell keep, medieval warfare and chivalry. Medieval warfare was a series of skirmishes that were fought between rival armies. The most common weapons were bows and arrows, swords, spears, and pikes. However, there were also some more advanced weapons, such as cannons, that could be used by kings' armies to try and break down castle walls. Chivalry was a code of conduct for knights and other warriors during the Middle Ages, 500 and 1500. Its main purpose was to maintain social order by teaching people how to behave in certain situations. For example, if you came across someone who had been injured on the battlefield, then you would help them out instead of attacking them because they might have helped someone else earlier on. Their life too. Medieval culture and society. The medieval period was a time of great change. With the rise of feudalism, society was divided into three classes: the nobility, clergy, and peasantry. The nobility were responsible for governance and warfare, while priests served as teachers and leaders in their communities. Peasants worked on farms growing crops or raising animals to feed themselves and others in their village or town. The Middle Ages were an exciting time to be alive. The world was changing in many ways, from political structures to technological advances and religious movements. Artists were experimenting with new styles of art and architecture, creating some of the most iconic works of all time. This era saw great social and political change, as well as technological advances such as gunpowder and clocks that helped people keep track of time more accurately than ever before. Feudalism, knights, and castles are just a few of the topics we covered in this article. We hope that you enjoyed learning about these fascinating aspects of medieval life. As we bid adieu to our expedition through the pages of medieval history, let us carry the lessons of chivalry, the echoes of chivalry, the echoes of castle halls, and the spirit of the Middle Ages with us. The legacy of knights, lords, and castles reminds us of the timeless pursuit of honor and the enduring allure of a time long past. If you've been captivated by the noble ideals and fortress walls of medieval times, don't forget to express your appreciation by hitting that likes button and subscribing to our channel for more captivating journeys into the tapestry of history. Together, we'll continue to unlock the secrets of the past and bring the stories of yesteryears to life